gang, this is Travis Garza, and I'm in my private training studio today, and I'm sure when you clicked that email and opened it, you did so because you saw the words before and after, which is exactly my topic today. I've been around this industry for 28 years, started this back when I was 18, 47 now, and back then, we used to do before and after pictures, and they were legit. And I still today do legit before and after pictures. I mean, if you come to my private training studio or over my camp in Edmond, you can tell our pictures are authentic. I mean, we've literally cut people out of pictures because they bring us a picture and we cut them out and stick it in a frame and put it up there. There's nothing fancy about it. We're not trying to be fancy. We have little pretty arrows pointing and all this stuff. It's like, this is this person when they were overweight, and this is this person now. And although we maintain a legit profile on that, there's so much garbage going out there. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. I mean, I got an eye for it. You're not dumb. And I just see all these before and after pictures being photoshopped and airbrushed. And now they're even coming out, the swimsuit models, talking about how they get their stretch marks airbrushed before they even get on the swimsuit edition. I mean, which we know that, but now they're willingly just confessing it. And then that leads you, as a consumer, sitting there going, you know, I don't know who to believe anymore, and I really need to lose some weight, or I need to get in shape, or maybe you got diabetes, or whatever, and you need to work out for other purposes besides just weight loss, but you don't know who to trust. And when I see this over and over again, and when I'm getting asked, you guys have those legit pictures up there? And to us, they're like so blatantly not fancy. We're like, yeah, that's really pictures. I say, you know, I need to do something to change the game. And I'm always trying to do that anyway, step out away from the norm and do something to show you a different angle on things. And first of all, I want to say this. I've got the coolest tribe members, I think, in the state of Oklahoma, because I was a little apprehensive about going forward and asking people to do this because it's time consuming. They've got to take time out of their day. And, you know, it's very personal. And what that is versus me just showing you before and after picture of somebody, how about somebody talking about their story and not sitting there just saying, look, this is what it was, I lost weight and I'm all happy now, because that's BS, all right? There's always a story behind that weight loss. There's pain behind that weight loss. Somebody went through something, first of all, just to get up and decide to do something about it, a pain, a trigger point as I called it, pulled them forward to say, I've got to do something here, I'm tired of this life. And I have found 3 women so far, and I'm going to find more, it's very time consuming, but I found 3 women who stepped forward and said they'd tell their story. And I mean, you know, you're gonna get choked up on some of these stories. I'm just gonna give you one this week, and then next week I'll give you another one, and another one. I'm gonna warn you, they're 30 minutes long, they're in-depth interviews. So take the time when you've got it and listen to this. It's interesting stuff. They're telling about what they went through, what was going on in their homes while they were gaining this weight, the ups and downs, depression, you name it. I mean, I was hearing it, I was getting choked up because even me, as a weight loss expert, I don't know some of these people's story. I just know they came, we gave them the tools, we worked with them, got the weight off, and they're happy now. But I didn't know what they went through just to get off the couch and come see me. So, this first lady is Susan. And I mean, you know, she's incredible. And she's been with my camp for a little over a year. And she's going to tell you her story about how this started, her apprehensions about coming to see us. You know, we're going to hold up to show you what Susan looked like before she started, and then you're going to see a live video of who she is now. And I think you're going to see like night and day. I mean, just people's facial expressions. I mean, I never realized myself till I did this. You know, the before and after pictures show up, but when you're sitting down and you see this picture of this individual, and then you're sitting next to them and you're thinking, this person's like character in their face is totally different. Not the weight loss, just the way their eyes, the happiness in it versus the sadness in maybe the picture I show you. I mean, you just see a lot of pain in some people's eyes in pictures they took way before they met me. So anyway, sit back, listen to Susan tell her story, and I think you're going to be moved by it. And the main reason I'm doing this is if you're one of those people sitting behind a computer and watch my videos year after year, and you're just kind of on the fence line, you're not wondering, you know, I get it. There's a lot of people out there not to trust these days. And if you're looking for someone, you know, to help you out, and help you move forward in your life, and do it legitly without BSing you, you know, that's the main thing. I want you to be able to trust us by seeing legit people just like you. Maybe they're going through and went through something that right now you're going through, and you can say, wow, that person went through this, and now look at them. It will give you hope, and that's all we're looking for. If we get one person to say, wow, that right there is what I need to hear, because that's a person talking there. It's not somebody writing out script on an email saying they're the best in the town and they're the best trainer and all that. That means nothing, okay? Nobody cares who the best trainer is and all that. It's like, what can you do for me and what can you show me to make me believe you? Because I don't believe in these photos that look like they've been airbrushed and photoshopped and all the fancy stuff that technology does today. So, hey, I love you. I hope you enjoyed this video. And then next week, we're gonna give you another lady's testimony and then another lady's testimony on the third week. And I've tried to find some variation. Susan's been with us for a year. The next lady's been with us only 13 months. Then we have another lady who's been with us for a little over a year. So a little variety there. You know, year, 13 months, just showing each person what they're doing right now in their life. So, hey, talk to you soon. I love you. And this is Susan. Hey gang, this is Travis Garza, and today I'm not here to talk to you about a program or, you know, just all the various recipes and stuff that we do over and over again. Today, I've actually just decided to sit down with some people, real people, not pictures, not photoshopped before and after pictures. I mean, I'm really noticing lately it's becoming widespread. These before and after pictures are photoshopped. I've been doing this 28 years. I can tell when people are starting to duplicate and make things that aren't real. And you know, sometimes if you're sitting out there behind a computer and you're watching this and you see those before and after pictures, you're wondering if those people are real or not. And that may be what you need to hear is a real person speak to you and give you their story, pretty much to you know, motivate you to move forward with you know, getting in better shape. Maybe you got, you know, some weight loss issues, you don't know how to do it, whatever it may be. But first, I want to thank Susan for coming out today and sitting down. You don't know how terrifying it is for some people to sit in front of a camera and actually tell their story, and that is huge, and you may relate to that. Like, I could never do that. And she's awesome. And Susan, how long have you been with our camp?
Almost a year.
She's been here about a year now, and you know, her coming out of her comfort zone just to work out was one thing. You know, we've got pictures of her before, we're going to show you in a minute. And then to sit down here and tell you her story. So I'm just really very thankful for what she's doing here. You know, Susan, everyone has a story, and they have struggles when it comes to losing weight for many reasons. And I want you to tell your story today. Before meeting me, I want you, Susan, to tell you where she was at, mentally, physically, in life, whatever it may be, before getting involved with one of my fat loss camps. And basically, I just want to ask Susan, you know, who is this lady right here? I mean, if you can see that right there, and then see Susan. So who was this lady before you came to meet me?
Well, that was a very depressed person. Very, you know, you kind of get into the cycle of you gain weight, you feel bad, you eat to feel better, you gain more weight, and it's just that constant circle. So it was just getting worse and worse. And it kind of started back in 2005. I broke my hip. I spent 6 months on crutches, non-weight bearing, and I couldn't do anything. I was used to being active. I was running and riding bicycles. And so for 6 months, I was going to school. I sat on the couch, and I ate like I was running. And, you know, I couldn't cook. I couldn't do anything because I couldn't put any weight on my leg. And I ate all the time. I would order a pizza and they would bring it into me on the couch. I was just, I mean, I couldn't even motivate myself to get up to answer the door for the pizza delivery man.
Wow.
I just left the door open and said, come on in.
You just walked in with your pizza?
Yeah.
Okay.
And unfortunately they got to know me. But after, you know, after that first 6 months, I gained about 40 pounds. And then the depression kind of set in, and I gained, you know, from 2005 to 2012, last year, I gained almost 80 pounds.
Wow.
And honestly, I was getting ready to have to buy a bigger, even more bigger size of pants and blouses. And I had some friends that were coming to your camp. And they were, I think they recognized that I was depressed, and they were like, oh, just come with us. Just try it for a couple weeks. And they kind of got me into it. They made me accountable the first few months, and here I am.
That's awesome. So you basically, what several people go through, an emotional eating binge, up and down, lose weight, gain weight. And that's the big deal I try to tell people is every diet out there works. It's creating a lifestyle, something you can maintain. And you're one of those people that have mastered it and said, this is what I'm doing for the rest of my life. Now, that's the difference in you and someone doing 6-week weight loss or insanity or whatever, and then saying I'm not doing this anymore. So, what are some things you've tried, since you spoke of it, what are some things you've tried to lose weight, and in your opinion, what caused them those things not to work? Like, what are some programs you've tried, whatever?
Well, believe me, I've tried a lot.
Yeah.
Because basically, I was a pretty lazy person, so I wanted the quick weight loss.
Sure.
I tried the NutriSystem, so I was successful.
Right.
And then, 2 or 3 months later, I started gaining the weight back because
Right.
it didn't change mine. I tried HCG, worked great. I can be very diligent, but 6 months later, I gained that weight plus more.
Right.
South Beach diet, Atkins diet, I think I've tried all of it.
Right.
And I think what I really wanted more than anything was to feel better. I mean, I knew I could lose weight, but I wanted to feel better.
Right.
And I really think that the exercise and the being active is what makes me feel better. And I think that's why I didn't succeed with those. Yeah, I could lose weight, but it didn't stay off. It didn't stay off 2 or 3 months.
Right. And you discovered what I try to preach to people all the time is people are generally lazy. And we as Americans want a quick fix. And we want to do something to lose weight, but we don't want to do the exercise part.
Right.
And, when someone's joining our camp, I'm like, look, this isn't just a walk through the park. You're going to have to come up here and you're going to have to work. And you're going to have to follow the eating plan to some extent. You don't have to be perfect, but it's a complete system. It's a combination of, moderate aerobic activity, concern for muscle, which is the weight training, and the nutrition. So it's 3 things put together. You can't just do one or do the other. Some people do the opposite. They work out and try to outrun the diet. And you can work out all day long, but you're not going to outwork a bad diet. So that's awesome. And so most of these things didn't work because they're really not lifestyle. Like, what are you going to take HCG the rest of your life?
Yeah.
Are you going to follow the NutriSystem the rest of your life? I mean, it's got to be, down to basics of I need a system where I have eating real food and I'm working out 3 days a week, not 5 and 6, something that balances in life. We got to have balance in life. I know weight loss is the main reason people seek me out. I mean, the number one thing people do when they sit in a consultation across from the table with me is, I'm like, why are you here? Because, in my private studio, I don't take on everybody. I mean, I interview them and why are you here? Well, I want to lose weight. And then I ask them, what's the motivation, So we find out and dig in. But weight loss is the number one thing. People come and I get that. But was there more for you than seeking weight loss along with the weight loss? Was there something else you were looking for?
Yeah, I had my friends that were coming, they had, some of them were older than me and they had more energy than I did. And they were happy and they did things and I just wanted to be happy.
Right.
It wasn't, I wanted to lose weight. Obviously, I knew that was a big part of my depression, but I wanted to have energy and feel good and go do things that they were doing.
Sure.
Instead of going, oh, it's too hot, I don't want to go outside.
Right. And that's an incredible aspect that you don't hear from a lot of people is there's so many people on antidepressants and, serotonin uptake can be created from exercising. And I know there's times, what I call speed bumps, that antidepressants are necessary, but they're just not given out like candy. It's like, here, I don't feel good, here, take a pill. If they would exercise and get in some kind of program, don't have to necessarily be mine, just start moving. That serotonin, that's what I tell people. Once you're done working out, no one feels bad at the end. They're like, I feel really good right now. That's serotonin. And you can get that on a regular basis. So that's awesome on that part. I talk to people all the time in counseling when I'm coaching them. And I talk about people have what I call a trigger point in life. And that can be several factors. That's when something made you snap one day. And on that day, your life changed. It's a turning point. And it happens in different areas of our life. But you knew right then at that moment that you were going to find a way to get this weight off and actually make a lifestyle change. So what was your trigger point? What one day, after all that stuff you just said, what snapped you?
Mine was probably twofold. It kind of, I've been struggling with it. And I think probably looking at my 30-year high school reunion pictures, because I was always thin in high school.
Right.
And when I look at the group of people and I was the fat one.
Right.
And I didn't even recognize, none of the guys in my high school recognized me.
Right.
And that was almost humiliating.
Right.
And I think that was part of, the trigger. And seeing my friends and seeing that they loved it. I mean, that's all they talked about is how much fun they had. And I think seeing how much energy they had and me seeing that picture from my high school reunion, I was like, oh, I've got to do something.
It was enough.
It was enough.
Yeah.
And then, I was getting ready to have to go buy a whole new wardrobe because I was moving up into a bigger size. I was like, I'm done with this.
Yeah, and that can get expensive.
Very.
I mean, you just keep eating, keep buying bigger wardrobes, but you hit on the head. People sometimes reflect back, and it takes a moment of seeing what you should look like, and then you're going to be in front of your peers, and then they don't recognize you. And that's huge. Yeah, I can definitely say that'd be. What changes have you seen since starting my program? Like you said, you've been here for a year. That's 12 months. Physically, strength, clothes, energy, happier. You've named up a lot of those. I mean, anything I've missed there? I mean,
I have a ton more energy.
Right.
I feel good. I'm happier. One of the things that I've noticed more than anything is I deal with stress. My anxiety level is so much better.
Yep.
I feel like I've gotten me back.
Yeah.
And some of my friends have recognized that we've got the old Susan back.
Right.
And that kind of makes me feel good. When I go up a flight of steps, actually, I will actually walk up the steps. And when I get up 3 flights of steps, I don't have to stand there and
Catch your breath.
catch my breath. I just keep on going. And I mean, it feels great to be able to do that.
And see, the funny thing is, those little things there, people, hey, I went snow skiing last week. And last year, I was like, I did one time, I was tired. And this year, I was like, hey, I can do this.
Yeah.
I mean, and I've got a 67-year-old mom, and she's in my camp over in Choctaw, and she's just like, when I go skiing, she went ziplining in Hawaii.
Wow.
And, that takes a little out of you to go
Yeah.
hang on a thing. But those little things, and then what you said is so key. I tell people all the time in consultations, you can deal with life better. What a problem was this big, it was like this. Once you start exercising and eating right and getting that balance, things are still problems, but they're not like, I can handle that. It's not as big as it used to be. It's not magnified at the wazoo. And so that's huge. And that's awesome. Mm-hmm. Well, and the happier part, and I can just tell you, when Susan first came here, I mean, she's a very sociable person and very nice and like that, but this is a different lady. She glows now. Her self-esteem, to me, is bigger than when she first came.
Nice.
When she first came here, it was kind of not so much slumped over, but she was a little bit kind of walking like this. And now Susan walks in and, she's like, as a matter of fact, here I am. Mm-hmm. And doesn't say a word, but you can just tell the stance and the way you hold yourself now, and it's awesome. So basically, how do you feel today compared to when you started? I mean, what do you think about the approach, our approach about workout and nutrition? Like, how do you feel today compared to when you first started?
I feel like a different person. I love to eat. I still love my cheat meal, but I look forward to my salad every day. People at work go, "Wow, what a pretty salad!"
Right.
It's spinach and red beans or black beans, and it's a healthy meal, but it's very filling, and I look forward to it instead of I've changed the way that I eat. I don't look at food now as, it's when is lunchtime going to get here, or when am I going to get off work? I'm hungry. Mm-hmm. I mean, I would go home after work. I used to drive in the car all day. Didn't have time to fix breakfast. Stop by McDonald's. Stop through for lunch for a drive-through because I was in the car. I couldn't take my lunch.
Right.
I had all kinds of excuses. And then get home and it's supper time, and it's like, what are we having for supper?
Right.
I don't do that anymore. I mean, now food is more of something to give me energy to be able to do what I want, and I'm so busy. I don't want to cook this big elaborate meal. I'll cook up stuff at the beginning of the week, and have my salad stuff where it's real easy to make real fast. And food is now just something to give me energy to go do what I want to do.
Ladies, if you had one thing to take from this video, what she said right there is the magic, okay? I don't care what program you do. What she said is she mindset changed how she looks and approaches nutrition and working out. She explained to you at first, used to it was like, what's going to be for dinner? When's lunch going to be here? She was putting that at the priority of her list of food is running my life, and I can't wait to see what good stuff I can get down. She now looks at food and meals as energy, and it's what our body needs, and she's got other things on her mind, and she shows up for her workouts, doesn't question it, gets up in the morning. Yes, some days I'm sure she doesn't feel like coming in. It's just, you just start doing it, but you've got to reprogram your mind about how you approach nutrition and working out. And she said it right there. Rewind this and listen to how she explained that. It's no longer what she lust after, if you want to call it, just like, oh, I can't wait to see what dinner is and cook this big deal. And she prepares, like Sunday night, let's say, she already prepares what she's going to have for the week. And I know a lot of you say, well, I'm busy. I promise you, she's as busy as anybody else. We're all busy. But her priority changed on how she's going to handle this situation. And I couldn't have said that any better. So let's ask the big question here. How much weight have you lost?
I've lost almost 65 pounds.
65 pounds, and we've done this in 1 year?
1 year.
And to a lot of people, they say, oh, wow, it took her a year to lose 65 pounds. That's when I want to get amped up and say, are you kidding me? I mean, that's real weight loss, people. If you're dropping 30 pounds in 30 days, you are an intelligent female, and you know that that's not realistic, and you know it's not really going to stay off, because whatever system you're using is a quick fix. She did this over a period of years. She'll never go back to that again. She'd have to quit working out, go back to her eating lifestyle she used to have with the pizza being handed to her, and she's so far gone now, she would be in disgust if she even tried to do that. It won't happen. She just won't ever put that weight back on, because she developed the lifestyle now, and she probably can't really remember too much about that old lifestyle. She can tell you about it, but she can't feel that way anymore because it's just not in her system anymore. That's incredible. How about dress sizes? You talked about wardrobes.
When I started, I was wearing a size 20.
20?
And now I'm wearing a 12.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Some hopefully soon going to a 10.
Yeah.
Although I can't really afford another new wardrobe.
Yeah, and the deal is, although she's spending money, we talk about spending money on wardrobes as you gain weight, but spending money as you're losing weight and getting in shape and getting your body back again like that, yeah, it's financially crushing on you, but it's a good financial crush.
Oh, it's great.
I mean, you get to go shopping for clothes,
It's
and it's
fun.
like, that's awesome. I mean, think about that happy moment. I mean, just that happy place there.
Well, and if you think about how much money I don't spend on fast food.
Oh, yeah.
It's easy to go buy clothes now.
Yeah, that's a
really
big
is.
deal. Is I try to educate people that cheat meal, we have that once a week in our program. You get to go eat all the fast food you want. But 6 days out of the week, by eating the way we suggest on food you pick out, I mean, we're not telling you what to eat, you're going to save money. I mean, it's, you have to go shopping and stuff like that, but I mean, it's just, fast food will ring up your bill fast. So, some ladies are sitting there right now. We're not going to go into this too deep, but what do you think about the program at our Fast Loss Camp? And mainly, people always ask about our instructors. It's like, what are they like? Are they mean? Are they yelling at you? I mean, like that. What do you think about that?
Well, I used to sit in front of the TV and watch The Biggest Loser.
Right.
And, I could have been on that show. I was that big, and it was humiliating to me. It made me even more depressed. But I watched them, and, they're very successful, but there's no way I could go work out with somebody yelling at me.
Right.
And so I was really intimidated to even think about boot camp or any kind of camp, exercising in amongst it. I'm a physical therapist, so I know how to use the weights, I know how to use the weight machines, but I needed some motivation. And when my friends were coming, they said, oh, they don't yell at you, they tell you to modify. It's hard at first, but it gets easier. And I didn't really believe them, but they convinced me. And so in coming, everybody, the people that were, the people that were in the camp and the instructors and you and Christian, and I mean, it's really nice when they say, I'm glad you're here, or pat you on the back and say, you're doing great. Even though I'm modifying.
Yeah.
You're not yelling, you're not beating us up, you're encouraging. And that's the kind of person that I am. I don't need somebody yelling at me because you can't go home and yell at me.
That's right.
And just going home and feeling like, wow, I actually did this.
Yeah.
And the more I got into it, you know, it felt even better. And you guys are very encouraging. You're all about modify. Someday you're going to be able to do it. Just push yourself.
Right.
But you're not in our face yelling at us, but you're teaching us. You're teaching us constantly as we're exercising. You're giving us information, and it's very motivating to me.
Well, she's getting me choked up. That's the deal. At the end of every one of my emails, people always say, "Why do you say I love you?" And I said, I know it sounds corny, but I said, you know, I started this when I was 18. I'm 47 now, and I said, generally, and I handpicked these instructors, and I let them know, look, first of all, we've never been a boot camp. We got thrown in that category, but we are a fat loss camp, and that's fine. Once people experience us and see, but generally, my instructors need to have a love for people. Mm-hmm. Look, we really care that you get in getting something here, and if you need some private time to talk to us, call Travis, we'll talk to you, but you know, we do care, and so we try to relay that message to people, and that's just it. Who likes to be yelled at? What part of your life did you like being yelled at and told what to do? Mm-mm. Even as kids, we didn't like that, right? Why do they think that's going to carry on into an adult life? So,
exactly.
Yeah, awesome. My biggest deal that I try to do, and you know, we got 200 clients and 3 different camps, is people will come up and say, you guys kind of are like a little cult. Why do you call people tribe members? And I said, well, if you use the word cult, use it in a good word, because I said we do try to create that atmosphere, because I'm not interested in what's going on everywhere else, but we try to make sure people understand you're not just a paying client. I mean, just like you said, Christian comes up and pats you on the back, how you doing? And we try to get around and involve everybody. And then our programs that we have, like when we're giving away trips and we're doing stuff like that, and like we just did the 80s week where people dress up. Yes, we are a results-oriented business. That's what my main deal is. I get that. But people these days need a place, to me, to go, like Cheers, you know?
Yeah.
What was it they said in the lingo of Cheers when they'd sing the tune, like that? A place where everybody knows your name.
Right.
And I always think about Cheers. It's like, I want people to come, like, you know what, I know people up there. My friends are up there. Mm-hmm. And I made new friends I typically would have never met ever. And that's our little getaway, and that's our me time, and it's our happy spot. Mm-hmm. So do you feel like you belong to something more than just a paying client facility?
Absolutely.
Good.
I mean, when I come in here, I feel like, you know, I know people. I'm not as intimidated. When I first came, I didn't want to be up at the front.
Sure.
It doesn't bother me now. I still sit on the back, usually with my friends, but I don't mind being up in the front. And I mean, I know people, I know their names, and you guys, I mean, it is kind of like a family, and we encourage each other.
Yes.
You know, it's like, don't give up, you can do it.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, the lady next to me that's, you know, new, I'm encouraging her now.
Yeah.
And, you know, the person on the other side of me is encouraging me.
Yeah.
So it's very motivating. It's not like a gym where,
yes,
you know, you're showing off your muscles.
Yeah. And that is a huge compliment when I'm training or teaching or whatever, and I look back and I see someone that's been here for a while like you, and there's a new lady who used to be where you're at, and people like you lean over and tell them, hey, my mom's good at this too. She'll always encourage new people in the camp, like, hey, you know what, first, modify, everything's timed, you're not going to stand out. We're not asking you to do 20 reps and 50 of this, because, I mean, somebody's going to get left behind.
Right.
So doing a stopwatch, when we're saying 25 seconds, nobody knows what you're doing. But that all being said, when someone that's been in the camp leans over and says, hey, you know, I used to be here like you, and making them feel belong, that is what I've been going after forever. You know, I'm not a gym. I'm not, you're walking around, you're a paying client, you're a number that swipes a deal and your number comes up. And so yeah, that's awesome. That's what we love. Last thing, there's a lot of women who are watching this right now and who are where you used to be, and what I call a painful place secretly kept inside of themselves. And I know that because I counsel so many women privately, and eventually after an hour, their pain's coming out. And that's really, I mean, people say, oh, like their arms hurt or something. No, internal pain. That they feel, they hurt, and it's, you know, it's all worked around, you know, excess weight, not knowing what to do, being lied to by the media left and right. So there's 5,000 things out there to do. So they're hiding behind the computer where it's safe, watching this secretly, wanting help. And what do you say as a woman to a woman that used to be where you're at? I mean, what can you tell them to help them understand that they're not alone?
I think we've all been there, and it's not going to get better on its own. I mean, we have to take that first step, and for me, this was the perfect place for me because I'm kind of an introvert. I don't really like being in big crowds and around a bunch of, people that intimidate me, muscle men, cute little girls with,
Yep.
although there are plenty of those here too, but
Yep.
but I can tell that they're human beings.
Sure.
They're not out to flaunt, how pretty they are.
Right.
And taking that step out was very difficult for me. And I think, it's easy to make excuses of why you can't do it. But it's just as easy to take that first step and just try it.
Right.
I mean, it's changed my life totally. I mean, I'm a completely different person and plan on staying here in
Awesome.
a good place. And I don't know how to motivate somebody to take that first step.
Right.
But nobody can do it.
Yeah, and you're hitting it right. People, the fear factor. And what I tell new people, fear stands for false evidence appearing real. FEAR, false evidence appearing real. Fear was not built into you. I mean, fear is something that it's human nature, but it's not knowing the unknown, or if you want to call it. And here's the deal, Susan, you hit it right on the head. You can't do it alone. I've been doing this all my life, and a lot of people don't know this, but I have a coach, and I paid this coach a lot of money. And I mean, everyone needs accountability. And people are like, what are you paying a coach for? Well, that's irrelevant, but I'm just telling you, everyone needs a coach. And that's what we are. We're coaches. We're instructors. We're giving you a workout and all that stuff, but we're also a coach. We're someone here that you come to. We hold you accountable, and you show up, do your thing, go on the road. But if that fear is what's plaguing you, it got you in what I call paralysis. You just froze up. You can step out, and if you're interested in talking to us about our program or just wanting to come try it out or whatever like that, we're here for you. And you know how to get a hold of us if that's of interest to you. But mainly today, I wanted someone like Susan to talk to you as a real person who used to be this person right here, okay? This is the lady she used to be, and look how beautiful this lady is now. I mean, this woman's smiling, this woman's glowing. Whole different ballgame there, and I love her to death. And I want to thank you so much. I know this was tough, and I'm just hoping we've impacted somebody's life today. If we impacted one person, that's incredible stuff. So I love you. All right. Good
Thank
job.
you.
Thank you. Awesome job.